Ciso. Oh, it's fabulous! A strike to get you up off your seats.
Hello, welcome to Seagulls Social, the Wolves match preview. Wow, we done it. I'm absolutely shattered. My name is Ben, and I'm joined by Maz. Maz, how you doing?
I'm good, mate. I'm good. Yeah, great start, mate. This is the match reaction, not match preview. But
my god,
we actually missed the match previews because everyone was Jack's away, Ben's been busy. So yeah, we didn't get a preview, so apologies for that. But yeah, no, I'm good, man. I'm good. Really good result. I thought we played really, really well yesterday. It was a fantastic result, and we're still in the hunt for Europe. Obviously, all dependent on what happens in the FA Cup, of course. And yeah, it's been a good weekend of football. I think there's still a lot on the line for a lot of teams. So yeah, it's been good, mate. How are you?
Yeah, just tired really. Just working today and went out. Well, I didn't go out yesterday. It was my cousin's birthday. Just drinking during the day. Actually, no, to be fair, it was a late one actually. That's a lie.
Yeah, so, I think I saw a story at like 4 a.m. I think, but yeah.
Yeah, that would be it. Fuck's sake, why did I do that? Yeah, it was a 4 a.m. one. And then yeah, I'd work 5 hours later, so that was good. Good start.
Nice.
29 years old and still making the same mistakes, guys. Nothing changes. It's all good.
Yeah, stay in school, kids.
Yeah, stay in school. I mean, I didn't. Look at me. It's terrible. But no, the thing that cheered me up though, Maz, we actually won. If we had done a preview, let's talk about that actually. What would you have thought going into the game? For me personally, I probably would have maybe said it as a draw because obviously Wolves have been unbelievable form. They have a 6 winning period. 6. Yeah. Like, they're one of the best teams in Europe on form, which was insane. The manager's got them playing incredible football. He's a regen I've never seen before. He's definitely a myth. I don't really know who the bloke is, but he's doing well for them. But yeah, they just didn't seem like the team that we thought they were going to be.
No, 100%. Yeah, I think they got him from the Saudi Pro League, didn't they? So that was an interesting appointment when they signed him initially. But no, he's been fantastic, and like you say, they've been a really, really good side, Wolves. So yeah, no, I think I would have gone into it a bit apprehensive, especially. But we had a really good record. Like I think was it 3 wins at Molineux before? I think it's made it 4 wins in a row.
Like going Molineux?
Yeah, we like a day out at Molineux. So yeah, I would have gone into it slightly confident, but slightly apprehensive, just because of how well they've been playing. And yeah, I mean, look, it was always good that we had loads of players coming back, which we saw with the lineup, options off the bench, and a lot of players coming back, Lamptey, Veltman. I know Veltman wasn't even on the bench yesterday, which, again, these injuries that sort of crop up after, me and Jack spoke about it in the last pod. It's just bizarre, like how players, Herzl will be like, yeah, we've got a fit squad, and then 3 days later, there's like 4 players missing. So, yeah, it's all a bit strange, but thankfully, ambulance kicking
Another
off.
injury outside.
Yeah. They're going to Lancing, I think. But yeah.
Wrong way, lad. You're gonna need more. You're gonna need more than that one van.
Yeah, but no, yeah, very, very strange with the whole injury situation. But yeah, good to see Matoma back on the bench, obviously coming on as well, and good to see the subs as well making an impact. Which again, we've always said about it throughout the season that we've struggled off the bench. Players. Squad players not really coming on and making an impact. So great to see Gruda obviously making an impact as well. But yeah, going into it, I would have been slightly apprehensive, but I think, with our record, it showed again that, we like to play there.
And really good defensively. I mean, I feel like the beginning of the game, Wolves definitely had the better chances, or maybe just more chances than we did. Took us a little bit to get into the game. And then
that Guedes chance, when Cunha crossed it in and he put it over the bar, if he just maybe even taken a touch or been a bit more calmer in that situation. He actually spurned a few chances, Guedes. He had a few chances. So, yeah, no, they definitely, I thought they looked bright early on. I think, with the team full of confidence, only losing to Man City 1-0 out last time. And then, like you said, having that great run before.
6 wins in a row. Yeah,
obviously they would have gone into the game full of confidence. So, yeah, it was good to see us really. I'm glad you made the point of defensively, because I thought defensively yesterday we were fantastic. I know that Wolves did create a few chances and at times looked a bit dangerous. And Verbrugge made a couple of good saves, especially the one from Cunha, the long shot from Cunha. That was a fantastic save. So I just thought the whole back five were brilliant. Weaver, Webster, Van Heck. Van Heck was colossal. Webster, Weaver was a man mountain. He was fantastic.
Yeah.
Like rightly,
how good that's
rightly man of the match.
Story, what a story! Like he got absolute pelters against Wolves in the reverse fixture for giving that ball away last minute, for us throwing that win away and getting, was it 3-0 in the end? So then to go back and play Wolves again, was it 2 or 3 or sorry?
I think it was 2
Oh, 2 and yeah, so then to do that at Molineux against Wolves again and have an unbelievable performance, I think he's equalled our most tackles ever in a game, which was Basuma on 9, Caicedo on 9, and now Weaver on 9 as well. So that was pretty impressive. And yeah, so what a story that he's now, he's coming good. He's the player that we thought we were going to get at the beginning, the player that was tipped to go to the Euros for Holland, but obviously got injured. And we're kind of starting to see that player, which is, I guess it just takes time. And if you're a player that's out of confidence, it obviously has a massive impact on the pitch.
Yeah, no, mate, 100%. I think that's exactly it. He's had a run of games now, albeit at right back, which is not his natural position. Imagine how good he's going to be at DM when he finally gets the chance to play there with Belabor alongside him, or whoever it might be. Maybe he'll go to a midfield three. Talking about the system as well, because we spoke off air. We're a bit confused about how he actually set up Ursula. We're not 100% sure, but from what I could see, it was basically Minter, O'Reilly, Welbeck as a front three, and then it was like. It felt like a midfield 3 or midfield 4 with Lamptey as sort of like a right wing back, Weaver at right back, and then Ayari and Belabor as like sort of that midfield sort of the pivot. And it just worked really well. I thought defensively, we've been really struggling defensively recently, and I thought yesterday we looked so solid. We looked really comfortable. Like I said, Wolves did create chances. I'm not saying that it was like a complete shutout and there wasn't any shaky moments, but that wouldn't be Brighton if we didn't have those shaky moments. So but I just thought defensively the whole back five were really, really solid. Again, Estepinian was brilliant. The whole defence and even the midfield as well. Obviously, a few tired legs towards the end, but really, really solidly defensive. And I thought that system was really good. We talked about it. We talked about it a few weeks back, didn't we? About being a counter-attacking team or being a possession-based team. And I think Wolves dominated possession. I think they like finished on like 60%. I think it was, or especially in the first half anyway. And the fact that we then became this sort of a counter-attacking team yesterday, I really liked it. I thought. They had 56% of the possession, but going forward, we looked the more dangerous. And I thought, especially for the second goal, you saw us on the counter, and we capitalised. So it was really, really impressive. I thought defensively, going forward, we did everything right, and we didn't bottle a 2-0 lead, which was great.
A little bit of a technical difficulty there, but I think I heard what Maz says, but we'll just go on anyway. You're talking about the good defence that we did have. I think I saw a tweet of someone saying that that's the first clean sheet we've got since Adam Webster was last in the team, which is insane for him to come back and be a colossus that he is, it just gives us so much confidence when he's at the back. And I'm going to put it out there and say, was Southampton away when we won 4-0? Was that our last clean sheet? And did he play in that game? Let me quickly have a look. Yes, he did. Yeah, that's mad. So we're going back to the 22nd of Feb since our last clean sheet, which is a joke. But hopefully we can be a lot stronger going into the last couple of games. But like we said, they started off probably a little bit stronger, and then we did have our chance. O'Reilly picking up the ball from Jose Sarr's poor clearance. Minter couldn't really get out his feet, could he? He's not like the most composed fellow when it comes to in front of goal, really, is he? You think any kind of striker is going to try and dig that over, but he couldn't get out his feet, and it was a pretty wasted opportunity. Do you think he could have done better there, or was that a bit harsh?
No, I agree. I think there's still a few players in our squad which are obviously by far from the finished article, obviously still super young. I look at Belabor even, like I've seen his praises so highly. I think he's going to be the next, colossus midfielder. I think he's going to be one of the best in the league. But again, he has his, there's some stray passes yesterday from him. Again, Minter, I agree with you. Sometimes his final decision making isn't great, and that final piece of the puzzle. Don't get me wrong, he's shown it on a few times. The goal against Newcastle, there's been plenty of occasions where he has shown his qualities. But there are times where you look at Minter and think his final product is lacking sometimes. But defensively, he gives you a lot, which is something you definitely need. I thought, Lamptey and him were brilliant either side, giving that defensive stability. So, as much as you want him to sort of maybe be a bit more clinical and be a bit more, have that cutting edge, you can sort of allow it sometimes when they do make it up for effort and, work rate and that kind of stuff. So I think that's the case with Minter. I think it will come. The quality will come just the more he plays and the more confident he becomes. And he'll definitely become a better player, I think, next season. We'll see that clinical edge, I think.
Forget that he's 20. He always seems like he's maybe like 24 years old. He's only 20, so which is insane. He's a very, very young player. So, these sorts of players are going to make these mistakes. And, time will tell. And I'm sure he will be very, very good for us. But, yeah, you mentioned Lamptey on the other side. He was so good. Obviously, we get the ball in the back of the net from a cross on his left foot as well, by the way, which was unorthodox for Lamptey. Although saying that, didn't he score the absolute belter against Leicester with his left?
I think so.
So
Yeah, with
somehow
left, yeah.
he's suddenly got an unbelievable left foot on him, which is obviously very handy for when you're whipping balls in. But yeah, I think I saw you tweet off Seagulls Social, but you were confused as to why the goal was disallowed. See, I disagree with you, but you tell me why you think that should have stood.
Yeah, no, I think now that I've watched it a few times, I sort of get it because, I think Minter does maybe get touched. Basically, initially when I watched it, I didn't get it because obviously, yeah, it comes off Welbeck. Obviously, Welbeck, finishes it, and then I thought it was given because he was impeding Sarr, and I didn't think he got a touch initially, and but obviously reading through socials and watching the replays a few times, apparently it's because he did end up getting a touch, and he's impeded the defender's ability to make a challenge, which again I'm not 100% sure on. But yeah, I mean, it was disallowed ultimately. You know, you can't turn back time. But yeah, I was just a bit confused initially when it happened. I didn't really get it, to be honest.
Sorry for another technical difficulty there. It's probably been like 20 minutes since we last spoke about Brighton, but we're going to try and pick it up as if that hasn't just happened. We're talking about Minton, whether he got a touch on the ball. I don't think he did get a touch on it, but I think because he had the intention of doing it, is what distracted the goalkeeper and probably the centre back as well, or the defender as well, which is why it would then be deemed offside. But yeah, if he had just like left it and stood up like this, then I thought that probably would have been given a goal. But yeah, it was kind of harsh. I did question it myself when I did see it. Remind me of what you said though. Were you saying that you do now agree that it should have been?
Yeah, I think he actually was impeding the defender's ability to put a challenge in. Apparently that was the line. Again, I'm not 100% sure. I'll be so real with you. I don't know if it was ever cleared up. If someone knows, put it in the comments. But yeah, I think he was interfering with play essentially. Minter, that's the bottom line of it. And yeah, I suppose rightly ruled out in the end. But yeah, we moved on and we got a penalty, which was amazing. Without Zhao.
Yeah, without Zhao. Yeah, no, I was shitting it when it was like, oh god, who's going to score? But what was Cunha doing all the way that deep anyway? It was like a goal that we've conceded on countless occasions. It was just very Brighton-esque that giving it away. And then obviously the main talking point, why the fuck was that not a red card?
Yeah, that was the biggest.
We could have squared it to Welbeck on his left, and that would have been a goal straight away. So how? I mean, it's last man denying a goal scoring opportunity. That's literally the letter of the law. Why is that not a red card? I do not understand.
The only thing, and again, you know, I'm sort of, you know, I'm not mostly clued up on the rules exactly, but my only thinking is double jeopardy. Is it because he's given a penalty, then to send him off? Because apparently double jeopardy is a rule, but then I have seen red cards given for that. Like even in the playoff game, Bristol City game, where they had their man sent off, that was exactly the same thing. He was last man, took his man down, and it was a penalty and a red card. So I really don't know what the rule is anymore. Is it double jeopardy? Is it just whatever reason he's given it? He's given it a yellow card, which was been very bemusing. But yeah, he got caught. Like you said, I don't know what he was doing that deep. But yeah, he got caught. Great play from Weaver again. He was he was everywhere and he was brilliant. Done really, really well to get in front of him. And then got taken down. And Welbeck, I believe he's missed his last 2 out of his 4 prior to that, which they put like a graphic up on the screen. I was like, great. Like the geezer's
brilliant.
Missed 2 out of 4, and I was like, this is not good. 50% chance. But no, he done really well. Really cool. Slotted it in, and the first time he scored over 10 plus goals in a season ever in his career, which is mental. It's just insane.
That is mental.
I did not expect to hear that stat, but there you go.
Especially playing for Arsenal and United. I mean, he had a good run at those teams, but I guess maybe that just proves how injury stricken he has been. He's never been able to get a consistent amount of games and enough games to actually even get 10 goals. But he's done it at Brighton. It's also the first time in our Premier League history that we've had 2 players get over 10 goals now, because Zhao's on 11, Matoma's on 9, I think, and then Welbs is now on 10 as well, which is pretty impressive. Just shows how far we come. The classic Brian saying. Speaking of how far we've come as well, towards the end of after the Liverpool Arsenal game just now, they showed a graphic in the last 3 seasons, the most points. Man City have got the most, obviously, with 245, Arsenal with 241. But they showed 8 teams and we are 8th in that list in the last 3 seasons, which is insane. Like that, it just shows how far we've come. Again, classic, but challenging establishment. You've got such huge clubs above us. Chelsea, United, Villa, Newcastle, Liverpool, Arsenal, City, and Brighton are in that list, which is a mental thing, in it, Maz.
Yeah, no, it's insane to see the progress. Like, as fans, we always I don't want to turn into one of those old school fans. It's like remember like where we came from, where we were, and all that kind of stuff. But it is true. Like sometimes we forget how well we're doing. Even this season, there's been countless amount of times where sometimes we're guilty of it on this podcast, and a lot of fans on socials will be complaining about where we are, what we're doing, what the form's like. Is the manager right? And you just got to remember that we have done so well considering we are a selling club, so to speak. We've sold countless amount of key players, and to still consistently build points throughout the season, it's so impressive. And I think what was it recently? I saw a stat with Herzler actually getting more points than De Zerbi, I believe, in his the season just gone, his last season, not obviously his European season. But yeah, I think we're better off this season at this stage than we were that season. So yeah, like I think sometimes we do forget like how well we're doing considering the players we've got. In terms of this being a very transitionary season, in my opinion, I think we got to remember that we've had a lot of change, manager, players, and to still be battling for 8th and doing so well in the league is hugely impressive. So yeah, I think sometimes we just got a bit of perspective. Sometimes just take a step back and just realise that we are progressing as a club. We are still doing well. I think Europe sort of skewed our perspective. I think that really sort of gave us that, our expectations grew so much higher, and we were like, oh, we have to do better. And we just sort of lost the perspective and vision of like where we are and, how well we're doing really. So yeah, no, it's hugely impressive to be competing with the likes of those teams you just mentioned. You're on mute.
God, this has been an absolute shitstorm. Guys,
Yeah,
it's
had a
Sunday
stinker
night.
today.
I'm absolutely
Yeah.
shattered. The technical difficulties aren't helping. But no, I was just saying, yeah, even this season, doing the start that we had has really, I guess, just screwed everyone up thinking that we are this unbelievable Big Six, top 6 team. But we are still bright at the end of the day. And we, at the beginning of the season, we won a 10th, and we're there or thereabouts at the moment, pushing for the Conference League, which hopefully we will still get. But yeah, no, that graphic did surprise me that we were the 8th team out of all those clubs. So long may it continue. But yes, after Welbeck, obviously, good penalty. Nice for him to get that moment. Yeah, the 10 goals, fantastic. Going into the second half, though, a little bit shaky at the beginning again, I felt. Wolves had a few chances again, pretty much like the first half, but we just defended well, thanks to Adam Webster, of course.
Yeah, Van Hecker as well with that. It was the cross in the box and he got the deflection.
Oh, yeah, the interception.
Yeah, the interception, yeah. And then Verbruggen, good save, and we ended up clearing it as well. So yeah, they definitely had that moments. I think after they brought their subs on, I think it was like Bellegarde, Sarabia, a few other players, and they looked quite dangerous after. They had like a sort of 5-10 minute spell. They did look like they were going to get the equaliser. But yeah, defensively, we looked really, really good. I think we limited them. They didn't get quality chances. It was more sort of like in and around our box. Ait Nouri, I think he's a fantastic player. I think he's a really good player. He causes some problems.
Isn't he?
He's a really good player. I think he's so underrated, I think, Ait Nouri. I'm surprised that a lot of the big clubs aren't looking at him. There might be.
I think they were. I think Liverpool, before Kirkes, the Bournemouth left back, became like the hot property. It was Ait Nouri. I think they were like talking about signing. But I remember when they signed him, he didn't set the world alight at Wolves. And he was a youngster, obviously. But yeah, he's definitely found his feet in the Premier League.
I think last few seasons he's been solid. He's been really, really good. I think he's super underrated. But yeah, he causes a few problems. His runs down the left were really, really good. I think Weaver struggled sometimes with him and Lamptey as well. But yeah, in the end, thankfully, he didn't have like the impact that he would have probably wanted. And yeah, defensively, we were just really, really good. And even in those moments where we looked a bit shaky, I didn't think that I wasn't like super worried that, they're going to turn this game around and Wolves going to come back. There was obviously a few, like you said, a few shaky moments, but yeah, defensively we were just so solid, which is a nice change from usual games where I think we're conceding sort of 2+ goals every game for the last 6-7 games. So yeah, it was great to see us defensively being sound.
Yeah, especially like you're saying you maybe weren't too shaky. I was definitely shaky. I saw a stat, 22 points this season we've dropped from winning position. So which is just a joke. So I was definitely thinking we probably could concede here because we've done that quite a lot this year, but luckily we held on. And also, going on to Bracken Gruder's goal. He got his first Premier League goal.
Fantastic.
Very emotional moment for him. Very, very calm and composed for the young lad, to be fair. Great little dink that you'd love to see. And special moment, special celebration for him.
Yeah, no, it was fantastic. Like, even from the game before with Newcastle, when he came on and he put that amazing cross in for Gomez, like, I could see every game he was getting more confident. He was getting more, it's probably not easy for him coming off the bench and trying to make an impact. But I feel like since he's been coming on recently, he has looked really, really good. And yeah, it was a fantastic, great finish from him. The little dink was so cool. Like you said, under pressure, Sarr coming out, and he just dinked it over him like he's done that sort of, for years and years. And again, another young player. We talk about young players. Another super young player with, I think, a really bright future ahead of him. One thing I did want to pick up on, Adingra got the assist in the end, technically. But I'll be so real. I thought he was really poor yesterday, and I don't want to turn this into negative because obviously it was a positive result and a positive podcast. But I was so perplexed when he came on. I just didn't understand what he was doing. Like, he wasn't making the runs. He kept sort of like trying to cut in, and there was a few times we were on the counter, and I was just like, make the run. And what I noticed as well was it felt like the players weren't confident in giving him the ball. So there was a few opportunities where he was sort of pretty much free on the right, and instead they'd go left or they go through the middle, and they wouldn't give it to him outright. And I don't know if that's a thing where they're like, oh, we just don't believe in him and we don't think he can make an impact. Obviously, he did end up getting the assist it took a big deflection before it got to Gruder. But yeah, I just wanted to single out. I think Adingra, there's been so many times this season where he could have staked a claim, and I think he could have taken this opportunity where it's like, right, I'm starting from the off, or I've come off the bench, whatever it might be, let's make an impact here. I just feel like he hasn't done that. So I was just slightly disappointed with his performance yesterday, albeit he did end up getting an assist. But yeah, going back to Gruder, fantastic finish. Really, really happy for him. And it was great to see the team as well, all going around him. And it just seems like we've got this great togetherness slowly building now. Because I feel like we were missing that a little bit, that sort of camaraderie we've seen in the past few seasons where we had like really special teams. Obviously, that European season where when we got Europe, you could see the togetherness. You could see every player building towards that. Even the manager, instilling that belief. And I feel like we're slowly starting to get it. And I think it could be perfect. We finish the season really high. Going into next season, it's going to be really, really good for us because we're going to have a young, hungry squad with a young, hungry manager, and hopefully we can do some incredible things next season.
Yeah, and they'll all have a big season under their belt and more experience, wouldn't they? So that'll be massively beneficial. I did want to talk about Dinger, actually. It's a good point. I think I wouldn't be surprised if he goes in the summer, to be honest. Looking at the players that we got coming back from loan, I mean, and then also you got to ask a question like, where does Gruder fit in next year? If you've got Enciso then coming back as well, Sarmiento will probably go. I just don't think I can see us holding on to a Dingra in the summer. Do you reckon he'll go? Especially like obviously he was potentially going to go to Sunderland as part of that deal for the youngster that we tried signing, but
Tony Watson.
He didn't want that, did he? Yeah. So I don't know. I just don't think he's got a place in the squad next year, to be honest. And he's just too inconsistent. When we think that he's being bad, he will then suddenly come up with a goal. We think, okay, that's a reminder of why we have him, but it's happening like a less and less really with him, isn't it?
Yeah, I'll be honest. Like this season, he's not disappointing me. I think that's a bit harsh, but I just feel like he hasn't hit the peaks that we know we can see from him. Obviously, he had that amazing AFCON tournament where he was instrumental in Ivory Coast.
But he's just living off that, really, isn't he?
Yeah, that's the thing, and I agree with you. I don't see where he fits in next season. I don't see him being a starter ahead of Matoma and Minter. Obviously, if Matoma stays, he's not going to get in front of them. And then he's going to be, again, a bit part player. If we've got Europe, potentially he could play in European competitions. Obviously, having that squad depth is key. But again, a player you didn't mention as well, Bonanotte obviously scored today for Leicester. Again, I know he's not a right winger, but he can play in those positions, those forward positions. So, yeah, like you say, we've got so many players coming back from loan.
Still an option as well. I feel March will be fully fit come the beginning of the season. He'll be fighting for that right wing spot again, which he held down for quite a long time for us. It was so good for us before he got injured. So
we should
even
Lamptey, like was playing quite advanced yesterday. So again, if he wants a bit more defensive stability of knowing a sort of right wing back can play at that forward position as well as, because going forward, Lamptey looked really good yesterday. And of course he's a defender by trade, so having that defensive stability as well as going forward, that's another option. But yeah, I agree with you. I think it is going to be really tough for him to try and get a starting berth. I just can't see it happening, to be honest. He hasn't been consistent at all. I remember the game against Ipswich away, when I went to that, and he was really poor that game. And he was just like, again, he started from the off, and I was just like, this is your chance. Like, take it, show why you should be a starter. And yeah, he has let me down in that aspect. And yeah, I agree with you. I just can't see where he'll fit in. Especially knowing our record as well, we'll probably sign another winger for some reason. We'll just go and do that instead of focusing on a centre back or a right back or defensively. We'll probably go and sign another winger anyway. So yeah, Osman as well just popped into my head. He's another option going forward. We're just gonna have we're just stacked in those positions. So I think he's a bit unlucky in that respect as well. We're just stacked in those positions. But yeah, he hasn't done anything to claim that spot. So yeah, I think he'll struggle to make an impact next season.
I mean, even though obviously he has just got his first Premier League goal, it's been a difficult season for him. But Gruder's is he going to be starting anytime soon? Probably not next year. I mean, I wouldn't be disappointed if he went out on loan simply because I feel he's just almost there, but he's just not good enough to start yet. Especially if we've got a fully fit squad, which 9 times out of 10 you don't have a fully fit squad for the whole season, obviously. But if you've got Rutter back and João Pedro back, and he's going to be finding it so hard to get minutes again. If Enciso comes back as well, like you said, you've got Buonanotte is going to be coming back. There's a massive headache there once again. And it's saying we've even got 2 wingers coming in with Tommy Watson and the Korean fella, but I think they're then probably going to go back both on loan anyway. But still, we've got more wingers coming in, which we didn't need. Sarmiento probably.
It's a really good point, actually.
Sarmiento's time gone.
Yeah, I think Sarmiento's gone. I think he's been out on loan so many times, and he's not exactly pulled up trees, has he? At Burnley, he's not exactly been like their star player. I think he's even been on the bench for them mostly. So yeah, I think Sarmiento's gone. But yeah, Gruder's a really good point actually with Gruder, because I think he's a fantastic player, and even now he's showing that he can do it in the Premier League. It's not. I don't think it's a case of he can't do it or he's not ready. But like you say, you've got options there. Rutter is a really good one. You forget about him because he's been injured, but Rutter starts for me, every time. And then yeah, like you said, João Pedro. If João Pedro leaves, maybe that's an opening for him to try and stake a bit more, a few more minutes. But no, I agree with you. I think. Sadly, I think he would have to go out on loan just because, we've got so many options in those areas that he's just unlucky that, we are just so stacked in those 4 positions. And for me, having a striker that's for me the key signing for me. I know Simas is coming in, but again, is he going to be ready? He's, again, super young. It's going to be like another case of, is he ready for the Premier League? So yeah, for me, the main important positions going forward is definitely centre back and striker for me, to make sure that whether it's Ferguson, I know he's going to be coming back. Is it going to be Ferguson, Welbeck, and Simas? Are they going to be the 3 forward options? But yeah, I think this summer is going to be really, really key for us going into next season about who we sign, especially in that striker and centre back positions.
I have just seen on Twitter a Brighton tweet is absolutely banged. It's got 4K likes. It's from the game, so it's not completely off topic. But there's a picture, Maz, I don't know if you've seen it, of someone stood in front of someone. And the guy behind is taking a picture of him listening to a song on Spotify whilst at the Brighton game. And the song is Go Left, which is obviously a song that we sing. And he's listening to Brighton chants on Spotify to learn the words, I'm guessing. Unless it's a joke, but I don't think it is a joke. I think this person's been deadly serious. But the guy's getting absolutely cooked, but I don't know where I stand in it. So I know I've just sitting here, but now it's gone in my head. But I have no idea where I stand in this. It's obviously embarrassing, but if you want to support a club and you want to learn the words and you feel like you need to learn the words, I get it. But maybe that's just probably the wrong place to learn a song whilst the
I was going to say, do it in your own time, maybe. Do it before you get to the game. Yeah, but no, I've got no issues with that. If someone wants to learn the tune and learn the songs, I mean, I think that's great. They want to get involved and they want to be part of the atmosphere. But yeah, maybe just the wrong time, because obviously they've been pictured doing it in the game, which obviously, as football fans, as we know, love to take the piss out of everything and anything. So yeah, I wouldn't deep it too much if I was the guy that got pictured. I just sent it to you on WhatsApp. Yeah, I think it's a bit.
Have a quick look at it.
I'll have a look now. Yeah. Oh, there we go. Okay, yeah. No, listen, man. No, I think it's. Oh, bless him, man. I think it's cool. I think it's great that he wants to get involved and learn the songs. But yeah, maybe it was just the timing of it. Obviously, just do it, on the way to the game, or do it in your spare time, and then you're ready for when the game. Yeah. Do it in front of the mirror. Get yourself
in front of the mirror. Yeah.
yeah.
Go left, right, left. Go left, go right, go straight. That's it.
But yeah, no, I've got no problems with that. I think, it's just football fans on Twitter. They love to take the piss out of anything, don't they? So yeah, bless him. He's just been papped at the wrong time.
Yeah, someone said it looks like it's set up. It looks so good. If someone goes, people aren't meant to go to the games and instantly know all the chants like that. There's still some that don't know fully, which is very true.
Yeah,
could be a
exactly.
Young fan,
No, exactly. Yeah, give him the benefit of the doubt. I got no
the more the merrier.
Problems with it. Exactly. He looks about 13. Someone said.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, I'm not going to cook. All right, but I think that's about it from the game. Obviously, we got two? How many have we got next? Let me quickly check.
Yeah, Spurs and Liverpool and Spurs. We've got final two.
Liverpool's on the Monday, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Christ. Well, I mean, Spurs look like an absolute shambles. So
just quickly on that,
we should be winning that, surely.
Well, basically, Ben, I've deep this right. Obviously, Liverpool at the moment they're on holiday. We saw today in the Arsenal game. Obviously, they went 2-0 up early doors. And then they got pegged back 2-2. But I feel like that game, they're always going to try and win the game because obviously it's Arsenal, second place. They want to show, we're the champions, that kind of stuff. But going into the Brighton game, they could potentially be on holiday. So that fingers crossed, is the situation. But they are a quality side. They've got quality all over the pitch. Hopefully Slot tinkers a little bit, maybe, gives his squad players a time to shine. And then on the Spurs one, right, that game's going to be played after the Europa League final, right? So the way I look at it, Ben, either way, we're in a good place because if they win, they don't care. They're 17th in the league. They're above. They just could not care less. If they lose, they're going to be down. They're going to be like, shit, we just lost. And again, they're probably not going to go into it with, they're like, our last game of the season. Who cares? We're dead in the league. Who cares? So the way I look at it, this is a positive either way. No matter what happens in that final, whether they win it or they lose it, that could be a great opportunity for us. And hopefully, we'll know by then because the FA Cup finals next week.
Yes,
we'll know whether it's a dead rubber anyway. So yeah, there'll be going into the game. We'll know a lot more basically.
Come on, City, please. Yeah, mate.
I
if
can't.
With the FA Cup, we might have to stop this podcast. We might have to stop. No one wants that. Well, they might do after today's shambles.
I'm going to have to deactivate, I think. This is one Palace fan that I know, sadly, and he is like genuinely insufferable. Like the worst type of fan, like proper troll, proper football Twitter, just bangs on about just stupid stuff. And I just know. No. It's actually a guy called D. He actually does a Crystal Palace podcast. I think it's something called like In the Nest, something like that. So yeah.
Also, who's that Beak? Who's the Beak fella? That's like the biggest.
CEO Beak or something. Yeah, Beak.
Yeah.
Beak.
Oh, the Beak of Beak Street. Beak of Beak Street.
That's it. Yeah.
He's the biggest troll online. Like,
yeah.
He always posts like videos so out of context and says, "I can't."
I just not basically. Do you know what this is the worst thing about it, Ben, is the fact not only they've just won a trophy, by the way, like winning a trophy, an FA Cup trophy, which is huge. Not only have they got that, they then stop us from going to Europe. So it's like a double whammy. But again, potentially we're not confirmed 8th yet, but that could be the potential whammy there of them winning a trophy and stopping us from getting into Europe. So it's like the worst thing possible, and it's just not something I want to think about personally.
God, yeah, that is going to be horrendous. That's going to be an awful hangover as well. Well, yeah, we will have to stop the podcast. But yes, on that note, I need to get food and go to bed. It's 9 o'clock on a Sunday, and Maz needs to watch Mobland. So
yes,
TV.
Mobland. If anyone out there hasn't watched Mobland, I cannot highly recommend it enough. It's genuinely one of the best TV programs I've watched in a long, long time. It got a bit of stick early doors. People were saying it wasn't that great, and like the was it Helen Mirren and Pierce Brosnan's accents were off. But aside from that, it's a fantastic show. So if anyone's into TV shows, go watch it on every Sunday. Bash.
I'll be watching it instead of the FA Cup final because I don't think I'll be able to put myself through that. On that note, like, subscribe, leave a review on Spotify. and we will see you for the Liverpool review. Peace.
Peace.